Oh, it is B-Beats. B-Beats 4. There's a tiny espresso machine back here.
Tiniest what?
Espresso machine. And here we go on the B-Beats 4, as previously mentioned. Made in 1993 in Belarus of all places. It's an awesome hydrofoil. Number 4, which means there were 3 before. The B-Beats 1, 2, and 3. They were made in 92 and 93. All of them refurbished in 2008. Which it's starting to show its age. And here's not great, but it's not bad. So these hydrofoils can do about 65 kilometers an hour, holds 54 people, and we go up the river, first to Vat, which takes about 40 minutes, then to Visegrád, which I'm going to get off. That takes another 20 minutes, and then the ship goes on to Esztergom, where it finishes another half an hour later, and then it comes back the reverse route back to Budapest in the evening. So all 4 of these boats you can rent as a charter. You could take them all the way up to Vienna for a day if you want, and it costs about $5,000. Which, to me, doesn't sound bad. If you took 50 friends and wanted to spend a day on the river and go between the cities, hey, cool. Much cheaper just to take it to Visegrád or something, only a couple $100, less than $1,000. So, not much to rent these things. I've never ridden a hydrofoil before, so let's see how this goes. I'll try to be a good tour guide through this ride through Budapest and up to Visegrád. First off, I'll apologize to all Hungarians about my pronunciation. I am terrible at languages, so sorry about that. Okay, this bridge coming up is Széchenyi, or Chain Bridge. On the right bank that we're looking at is the Four Seasons Hotel, which features in a bunch of movies like Spy with Melissa McCarthy. On the other side is Buda Castle and Fisherman's Bastion. Where we left from was about 2 blocks from Vörösmarty tér, which is the start of Váci utca, which itself is the main pedestrian street of Budapest. Now, Vörösmarty utca is the home to Metro Line 1, which is the second oldest metro line in the world after the London Underground. It follows Andrassy Boulevard, which is a gorgeous street with a bunch of embassies on it, to City Park. And City Park has Heroes Square and the most famous spa of Hungary. So when you come to Budapest, you have to ride Metro 1 because it still feels like it's a 100-year-old metro. It's hot, it's cramped, it's tiny. The stations are so little and beautiful with their tiles. Ride Metro Line 1 and then walk Andrassy Boulevard. Coming up is the Országház, or Hungarian Parliament House. Probably the most iconic and definitely the biggest building in Hungary. Completed in 1904, so the Hungarians were very productive and busy around that time. Metro 1 and the Parliament building. The 691 rooms are only slightly used by the government anymore, and a lot of it is open for tourists. So you can go in, have a look around, and I highly recommend it. Not sure why it's so big for such a small country. My guess would be corruption. Behind us is Batyányi tér and Fisherman's Bastion. Fisherman's Bastion is a gorgeous tourist place. You can get a lot of good selfies and everything there. Batyányi tér is just a transportation plaza. Has buses, trams, the metro, and a train to Szentendre, which is a kind of weekend vacation spot for Budapest residents. This is Marguerite Bridge, the south end of Marguerite Island, a 2.5 kilometer long, 500 meter wide island that splits the Duna River in two. On this south end, there is a musical fountain where water springs out in accompaniment to music. And there is a jogging path around the perimeter, which I use almost on a daily basis. I love this island. I take blanket out, have a picnic. There are pubs, you can get drinks, you can walk around. They do events. There's an Oktoberfest. You can rent stuff like a bicycle, those little pedal go-karts. You can make a full day of it. It's wonderful. On the north end, there's an iconic water tower, which is beautiful. It's great to walk around and take pictures of. If you come to Budapest, you have to go to Marguerite Island. It's an escape in the city center. My flat is in that communist block right there, the left one. I'm up high. I have a view of Marguerite Island, the water tower I was just talking about, a balcony. I sit outside with a glass of wine and enjoy the view. I've got no complaints. Now we're doing our full 65 kilometers an hour on our way to Vac. V-A-C. I'm sorry if I pronounced that badly. Not very busy and not much development going on. We got some nice hills in the background and some trees in the foreground. Liking the nature. This sweet little hydrofoil makes short work of all these cargo ships that fly up and down the Duna. It is a smooth, nice ride. I'm a fan of hydrofoils. I don't know why they didn't catch on. Must be some inefficiency about them. But one experience on them and I'm sold. I like them. It's a great ride. So, like I said, the Duna must flood quite often because there's not much development along the edge on this trip. Just a lot of nice trees and hills in the background. I'm really enjoying this. There goes my little B-Beats 4 on the way to Esztergom. She'll be back in a few hours. Docked next to us is the fatter, slower ferry for the lowbrow people. Let's go look around the castle now. Welcome to Visegrád, a tiny town of less than 2,000 people on the right or south bank of the Duna Bend. This is the Visegrád of the Visegrád Group, which is a political alliance of Hungary, Slovakia, Poland, and the Czech Republic. And it isn't only the castle and the Visegrád Group this area is famous for. There is also the summer palace of the Hungarian kings, or at least of King Matthias. I'll get more into that in just a minute when I read some information from Wikipedia. First, say that the ship drops you off in the perfect location to visit the castle. You do have to walk up quite a steep hill, but it's very nice walking. And I enjoy the whole area because there are well-marked trails going every direction. You can walk to villages many kilometers away, and it's a nice walk. And now on to some information. Visegrád was made the royal seat of Hungary in 1325, but around 1405 that got moved to Buda, and Visegrád started to lose some of its importance. It was still used as the summer residence for the king until the partition of Hungary in 1526, and then it pretty much just disappeared. In 1544, the Ottoman Empire captured and held the city and castle for almost 150 years. After that, the castle served no strategic purpose, so wasn't used again. Just became a tourist attraction. And I can highly recommend it. It is awesome to visit. I didn't visit the royal palace on this trip, but it is also worth a visit. It is great fun. It's not up with the castle, it is down in the village just on a side street. But take your time, pay the $3 or whatever it is to get in and have a look around. Visegrád is a must-do if you're in Hungary. Take the hydrofoil up for a day trip, go up to the castle, go to the royal palace, look around. There's a medieval themed restaurant right next to the dock. You can dress up as a wench, you can dress up as a knight, you can have tons of meat, you can have tons of beer. It's a great way to finish a day of touring. Thanks for taking this day trip with me. I had a great time. Bye.